What are the best practices for people that want to be online, but reduce the amount that they're being spied on or giving up their privacy and giving up their, data?
I mean, one of the easiest things that people often miss is installing an ad blocker, using a more secure browser. For the love of God, don't use Chrome unless you really have to.
I'm using Brave.
No,
Really? Okay.
On Chromium, and so it's still it's not doing the monitoring and analytics that Google Chrome proper does. But one of the problems of using a platform that is embracing the underlying, implementation of the browser engine is you end up in this state where basically one entity is controlling the standards of how web applications can be built. So on a Mac, for example, I use Safari or Firefox to avoid, getting too much, every single time you visit a website, you could potentially provide analytics that say what your browser is from the user agent string. And the more and more that number starts to turn into it's basically Chrome, whether it's Edge, Brave, or Chrome itself, the more and more people will continue to build and only target Chrome instead of making your web app work across multiple browsers. So yeah, ad blockers, script blockers. If you need to be especially concerned about privacy, I would recommend Tor browser. Tor has its own issues, so do take caution of why you're using Tor. But basically, there are easy steps that people can do to be proactive. The other thing is I have lockdown mode set in place on both my Mac and my phone. It is a little bit annoying at times because you lose some of the features, but it dramatically reduces the attack surface from which you can be compromised. There are a lot of companies out there that have, NSO Group, for example, has that zero-click exploit where they can send you a message your phone won't even show you, and then it has compromised your phone silently in the background. But lockdown mode restricts a lot of the underlying things that they use to take advantage and exploit.
Wow. Well, I just typed some things in to come back to later. And you said, what is your favorite browser to use?
Tor browser does have great privacy features built in. It basically reduces the number of mistakes people make when they're configuring their computer to use Tor as a proxy. So if you do have that kind of concern and you're not too worried about your own nation, at least if you're in the US, if you're not worried about the US spying on you, Tor browser is great. But in general, if you just want a better browser that avoids a lot of the potential problems from just, constantly surveilling everything you're doing, I prefer Safari.
I just think it's super important work, and it's been such a pleasure chatting, and love the conviction and mission. I think as LMMs, get even more powerful, the bad actors are probably going to leverage those more than the good actors, and it's really going to make this very apparent. It's how are they getting this data so quickly, and how are we being targeted? So the tools to exploit these cracks in the system, I think, are getting worse. And so I think what Quill is doing is a phenomenal foundation.